For over 1,000 generations, the Jedi Knights were the guardians of peace and justice in the Old Republic. Before the Dark Times, before the Empire.
If you remain the power of the dark side,
You may fire when ready.
I'll show you the dark side. We would be honored if you would join us.
Don't worry, Arthur. We're going.
That's enough, Buzzsaw. But what you have there.
I am a Jedi, like my father. Welcome back to Blah Wars. It's Easter Monday. Happy Easter, everybody.
Eggs.
Chocolate.
Eggs.
Bunnies.
We're also joined by Miss Fancy Pants herself, Bradie Tippets.
I'm so fancy. You already know.
Hello.
Welcome back.
Only because she got rave reviews and everyone loved her.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you would have just been.
Or as the Americans
sorry.
call her, Brandy Tippets.
No, it's definitely Bradie.
It's Bradie, guys. Get it fucking right. It's good to be back. Thank you very much for coming back for this show. We're going to talk about episode 9 today, aren't we?
Oh yeah, we got structure.
We've got a bit of structure. I've got a bit of banter.
I turned up with a beer and went, "What are we talking about?"
I have a bottle of wine, so
A bottle
we're
Yeah.
well set.
with a straw in the top.
Does not have a straw. I'm a lady.
Well, we've been receiving.
From the bottle,
I
sweet.
want to talk about fan art, please, because we've been inundated by fan mail.
We got a couple.
We get lovely stuff. So we got two guys who sent us lovely things. One of them's called Joe Hicks, and he's been sending me drawings of things he's drawn. No, that sounds rude.
What's he
It
been
sounds rude.
sending you drawings of?
He must be our youngest listener. He's 14, I think he
Aw.
said. He's from the States, I
What's
believe.
his name?
Joe.
Hey, Joe.
He sent us a picture of Boba Fett. He sent us a picture of
I'll slide
Kylo
through.
Ren.
You got mad skills.
Yeah. General Grievous.
Oh my god.
These are lovely little drawings. Darth Maul.
Maul's amazing, but do you know what my favourite is?
What?
John Galantini.
There's a little picture of me on it as well. No one's ever
that's
drawn
amazing.
me. And I think that picture isn't on our Star Wars account. I think he's Googled me and found that on my plentyoffish.com profile or something.
I mean, I'll be honest, John. You're a catch in that picture.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's uncanny.
I look like a cardinal.
Joe.
Joe, it's lovely stuff,
hang on.
mate.
That's
Thank
lovely.
you.
Where's my picture? So I want to know. It would just be a round. It'd just be a round circle
Circle
with a
two
couple of
big
glasses.
circles.
It would just
Mr.
be a
Garrison.
moon. She's having a bloody laugh.
You said what?
Maybe a moon.
It would be a moon.
Just a moon head.
Just a picture of Connix
So-
with no hair.
Yeah. All you need is a biro and a circle. Draw around like some sort of
Like a
cup.
spirograph. Yeah.
And Bob's your uncle.
Give him
So
creative direction over.
cheers, Joe.
Brady,
I mean,
you see
it's
your
pretty-
wine cup
pretty good
there?
stuff.
It's a double.
Yeah.
You see that? Pull out the bottom one for me.
Why is it upsetting you?
So I can have a glass of wine.
Oh, okay.
Okay, join you in some
Join
wine.
me.
Yeah. We're celebrating because Jude's off on holiday.
You are.
Yeah, where you going,
Finally.
man?
Oh, man. Winding down. I'm going to chill out. And then I'm going to come
Where you
back
off
and
to?
be like, what? I'm going to France, Saint-Tropez.
Oh,
I'm just-
Saint-Tropez.
Wow.
I say Saint-Tropez. It's in a little village called Ramatuelle, up
Yeah.
a mountain somewhere. Away from everything.
I'm just going to say this, ooh la la. You know, have some snails, mate. Make sure you have some oysters as well, because I bet they're really good out there.
You love an
You know
oyster.
he loves an oyster, don't you?
He sends me. Do you know what he does? Right? He sends 3 a.m. I'm sitting there. I'm laying asleep in bed.
In there,
Phone
in
goes
bed,
off.
sitting in bed.
I always notice you because my phone goes off. 15 messages down the
At
road.
once, yeah.
It's not like he doesn't really understand how paragraphs work. It's like a sentence ago.
Every time I press return, it sends, doesn't
Yeah.
it? I don't know that.
Anyway.
It's my fault.
He goes, oh, check this video out, 3 a.m. I'm eating oysters. It's just a video of him
Why?
going, all right, mate, lifts the oyster up to the camera, nods, and then slurps it down. But the best bit I liked is that he's trying to prove to me that he likes it. And there's the
love oysters.
slightest grimace. The slightest grimace in your face.
Look, it's a salty snack.
Can we get the next guy
Why
a
are
shout
you,
out?
Why are you eating oysters at 3:30 in the morning?
It wasn't. I must have sent the video at 3:30 in the morning. But I was definitely. It was just around 11
That was a
o'clock
good
at
story
night.
there.
You know.
Filth.
Usually
fish.
munching on something fishy around that sort of time, aren't I? So,
Ow.
sorry, that's vile. Sorry.
Bloody hell!
That's
I said to him,
disgusting, sorry.
Brady's on the show.
Oh,
keep the
no.
pants down.
Keep the
He's
pants
just
down.
No.
I
ball
said keep your
goes
pants
through
down. I
the.
said
Get
keep
your pants down. You misheard me. Not
Thanks to everybody for
pants,
sending me
not
the
pants.
lovely.
Hey,
lovely
I'm a big girl. I can take bands.
Good.
Not literally a big girl. It's quite a small girl.
Luke Summerfield, whose Instagram name is. Can you pronounce that? Top one. Sknit87.
I mean, snicket? I don't know.
Snicket. Is that how you.
I say sknit.
Sknit. I say sknit.
How do you spell it?
SNIKT
Snicked? I don't know.
87.
Yeah, well, check him out on Instagram.
Instagram.
The guy basically loves photographing Lego Star Wars. I mean, he must have everything. He must have everything. He spends his time photographing Lego Star Wars. He works as a gardener, actually, but his passion is photographing Lego Star Wars stuff, and he's basically created us, me and you two, and Bradie.
That was so cool.
He's working on Bradie.
He's
He
working
wants
on
to get
Bradie.
her right.
He's prototyping her as
I look like
characters.
Harry Hill in that one.
No, you look like Jude.
You look a mad
There's one of me like Jude in my arms in Jabba's palace with Jabba the Hutt.
This
You'll
stuff
see all
is
these
great.
guys. If you go on Instagram, look on our Instagram, look back a couple of days, you'll find our post where we've posted all of these on Instagram.
The effort that he's gone through.
They're beautifully
It's,
photographed as well, aren't they? Really
They're
well
really,
done.
really
Yeah.
cool. We've shared them on our podcast, on our Instagram. So check them out.
Yeah, go on Instagram, find the little
Follow
gallery.
him.
You'll find the little fan art bit. We've also stuck up Joe's pictures.
Do you know what he said
said
on
that.
one of his private messages?
What did he say?
He said,
Can we say this on the show? Can we repeat this on the show?
yeah, he said, I play Blower Wars out loud. And,
Oh yeah. While he
think
paints walls or something.
I think he was doing a bit of work in a
nursing home or
old age
something.
old people's home, and you're talking about I'd eat people,
Oh, wow.
and these old people must have been like, right, okay,
Yeah.
So you don't think about the consequences.
You don't really, when you make a show like this, you don't really think that there are people out there who are irresponsible like him, who just play it in the ears of unwilling people like.
But keep
poor
doing
people.
it.
Yeah,
Definitely
keep doing it.
it.
Yeah,
Blast
the
it
more
out.
the merrier. It's
Exactly.
awesome.
If there's any like little hip hop gangsters out there that are about 14 that like to sit at the back of buses, pop it out loud on your phone and annoy the entire
Oh,
bus.
do it.
Like, yeah. Or if you're stopping at a red light and switch over from your hardcore garage.
Wind the windows
and,
down.
Wind the windows down, yeah.
Yeah.
And play some Blower Wars out loud. How was your week, Bradie?
Yeah, it was alright. I have a new job. It's really far from where I live, which makes it unfun. But generally speaking, they're a nice bunch. The work's cool. So yeah.
Get there in 12 parsecs if you have
It's
the
a
millennium.
joy of being a freelancer, Brady. I'm right with you on that. The
Yeah.
travelling, the commute.
It's just the travel.
I can't believe you're complaining. I live outside London. I have to get, it takes me 40 minutes to
I don't
get
know how you
into
do that.
London, and then I do what 20 or 30 minutes on the tubes to get
No.
somewhere.
I'm used to just being able to walk somewhere in 30 minutes.
Right. Okay.
So yeah.
Lazy.
No,
Put
yeah.
that down. Put that down as lazy.
I walk 30 minutes
Lazy
twice
Brady.
a day. So
Really?
that
Okay.
makes me lazy. I see.
Okay, I
see
see.
your logic there. Nice.
I don't walk. I
Calories
don't walk to the
burned.
station. Hey.
Calories burnt there.
Yeah. Okay. How many calories are you burning from that?
Well, I don't know.
If you're doing a long commute, longer than 40 minutes, get in touch with the show. We'll give you a shout out.
What the hell? Are we scraping the barrel for
Yeah.
any
No,
Star Wars?
I
this
reckon
week?
I like any. We've got some Star Wars news. There's not very much right now. It's a drought. It's a real
Well, there was a
drought
Han
of Star
Solo
Wars
clip
news.
that came up on Instagram. Has
Really?
anyone seen that? I sent
No.
it to you.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Let's have a butcher's then.
All right then. Let's have a pat.
Star Wars. It was at officialstarwars.com.
No way.
Yeah. So hang on.
Not a trailer.
It was like a 2-second thing.
2 seconds. Oh, what a man with his back to the camera. That's
Oh yeah, but look at the characters in
It's
the background.
quite clearly Han Solo standing in
Hang
the
on, who have we
doorway of a
got?
club or something.
Well, I don't know who any of those people are.
No, well,
Brady,
no one knows anyone.
do you describe that as a clip from the film?
It literally is 2 seconds from the Han Solo.
It just says 2 months. It's 2
more of a
months
blink,
away.
less of a clip.
So that was Blower Wars. Thanks for listening, and catch you next week.
But the only other big news is the Star Wars Legion game has finally arrived.
Who?
Star Wars
That
Legion.
little plastic model thing that you love.
Yeah. I haven't got my hands on it yet. I might do this weekend. I've got a whole weekend. I could paint a lot of my miniatures.
Brady.
So-
Do it.
I went round his house, right? I was laying on the sofa. I was going to sleep, and I looked
don't know
up.
where this is going.
I looked up at the shelves, and there was all this weird stuff, loads of it, and I went, John, before you go to bed, what the hell is that? And he went, that's my Mos Eisley. And I went,
Oh, yeah.
what? He's recreating Mos Eisley out of blue foam boxes, like got sand, and he's like put glue in the sand, and he's painted it.
Wow.
It's insane.
It looks good, doesn't it?
It's very good.
I've
But
seen
up on the
photos.
shelf, it looked like you were
I
a
looked-
maniac or some sort
Yeah,
of...
yeah, yeah.
that.
So basically, Star Wars Legion is a new game. It's a Star Wars tabletop war game, and you paint up these little miniatures of all the characters from Star Wars if you want. It's just it's basically Warhammer for Star Wars nerds.
I was going to say Warhammer.
Yeah, it's got that vibe to it. Now I used to be really good at painting Warhammer, but then Warhammer gets boring, but Star Wars never gets boring.
No, never.
Now the
Do you
two
think you'd
worlds-
ever be bored of it?
what
Star
Star
Wars?
Wars? No way.
Nah.
When
That's
you're
what I'm saying.
87 and you're like in your old people
By then there'll be
home,
like 50 Star Wars films, won't there? The rate they're fucking going. So maybe we'll be sick of it.
oversaturated.
Yeah, at
No
least the
way,
Harry
we
Potter
still-
films stop.
Be us three in an old people's home going, any latest news?
Mate, I'm not ending up in an old
Who's
people
that
home.
Davros with your one arm there.
Skinnet
I'm in a
87. Turn
mansion
that show down.
What we could do is we could all
Davros.
three
Who
of
said
us can have-
Davros? You said Davros.
No, I didn't.
I said Davros.
Does-
Do you know who
Davros.
Davros is?
Yeah,
okay,
Doctor
cool.
Who.
Do you know who Davros is? That's alright, that's okay.
It's a Star Wars
It's fine,
podcast. It was
it's Star
Doctor Who podcast to throw you
It's
out.
fine. I think what should happen is in the future, when we're too old to do this anymore, all of our children should get together and do it, and it can be Blah Wars the next generation.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
And you can have a girl,
Obviously.
and you can call her JD or something.
Jesse
will be.
will
Jesse's already down. Without even if he doesn't like Star Wars, he's already signed up.
He'll be on it in the next
And then
5 years.
there'll be
mate.
my little boy or girl, whatever it is. Could in the future, could be both, couldn't it? You know, where things are going.
We're going to do a live show.
Whoa.
Shall we announce it now?
Yeah.
Let's get the ball rolling.
Well,
at
we
least.
haven't
Otherwise
confirmed the
two
date, but the
people
idea
turn
is London Film and Comic Con is coming up. It's in July. Loads of people descend on London just for those 2 days, Saturday and Sunday. And what we thought we'd do is we're going to find somewhere in London that Saturday night.
close to the venue.
Could be. It might not be close to the venue, but it'll be in central London. You'll be able to get there by a tube, and we'll rent a place. And you come and see us live in concert. You'll be in the audience, and you'll be part of the show, and it will be fun and games galore. And it'll be 90 minutes of fun. And
Shall
at
we-
the end,
shall
we'll
we,
sign loads of shit for you. and take
Instagram live it. I
photos.
think we should.
We
Yeah,
could do
for
that as
sure.
well, and we're going to record the whole thing. Obviously, it will go out as a audio episode. But if you're in the audience, by all means, film and stuff. That'd be wonderful. Yeah. But basically, I'm now ringing around venues trying to find somewhere that will take about 100 people.
Yeah.
100. We basically need a room with a capacity of 100 people, PA system, and some way of recording everything that happens.
I'm ringing up people begging them to come on.
I don't want to sort of like promise anything, but we're basically trying to think about the Saturday. If you're going to go to Comic Con and you want to see us, keep the Saturday night free.
I stumbled upon London Comic Con last year actually when I was on a bike ride.
Did you?
Yeah.
That must
It
have
was-
freaked you out if you didn't know it was on.
Stumbled upon it.
I was on a date.
Why are these people?
I was on a date. We've been cycling around and we just sort of stumbled upon Comic Con. It was amazing.
What an amazing thing. What to happen. Walk around the corner and all these little weird aliens coming at you.
Yeah.
It was amazing. People were dressed in the most incredible stuff.
Will you come
We
with
had,
us next? Will you come with us?
Oh yeah, sure.
Spend the day with us. We can always go.
Oh my
right?
god, it'd be amazing. I've
Oh,
never
it's
been to a
good fun.
Comic
The
Con.
plan is to go to Comic Con the
Did
day.
you dress up?
We didn't dress
We
up.
went
last
in
week.
our
We wore
Blah
our
Wars
Wars
t-shirts, man. Come on, you need to dress up when you got
I tell you,
that.
I shit you not. I'm going as Kylo Ren. Definitely, I'm wearing the whole gear.
Just
Yeah,
no,
you should.
I want to see
You
topless.
should.
Just
Topless?
yeah, topless Kylo.
Ben Swallow.
Ben Swallow with his huge weird nipples.
Massive
Oh,
prosthetic
lay
cock.
off of him, seriously.
Okay, who are you going as? So we've all got to go with someone now. Obviously you're going to go as Connix, without a doubt.
I'm going as Blah Wars man.
Can I just
I'm going
go
to wear a big Blah Wars t-shirt and nothing else.
You go as Laura Dern. Dye your hair purple.
Can't I? No, screw that. Can't I just go as like a female Han Solo? Because I really want to wear the tan,
All right,
the
fine.
tan leather
that-
jacket.
Are you going to go as young
No,
Solo
it's gonna-
You're
What are you saying, G?
I love the way
Am I
you
going to
go
go as a
up.
young Solo?
or
Why?
an old Solo or a mid original trilogy solo. I'm just saying, there's costumes you got to consider.
Yeah, no, I think
Insult on my face.
it was.
Well, no, hang on.
Were you trying?
No, I was just saying what costume you going for. New solo, original trilogy, or old solo?
Last
only
year,
wears
do you remember
one
last
thing.
year
Didn't
when
mean
we
you'd
met
look
Ray?
old.
Do you remember when we met Ray last year?
No.
You
What
know
happened?
what I'm talking about. What are you going as then?
Well,
We
go
thought we
Stormtrooper
decided
or
this
something.
last time. You're going as Billy Lord, right?
oh yeah, of course.
Conics.
I've got the neck for it. So
I think we get your
I'm halfway.
comics.
Leave
I'm
her
halfway there.
alone.
I think you should go and drag. Go as Leia or something.
What kind?
The Space Bums Leia.
So
Oh,
a new
please.
hope.
Do a better job than living like Leia on Instagram.
I can imagine you all in white.
Keep the beard, keep the stubble.
Lipstick. Just maybe like lipstick slightly like
You have to do the 80s blue.
tragic Leia.
Blue eyeshadow.
I'm gonna go as Leia the Night Han and her split up. Fist up Leia.
Oh god. I could be your son, can't I?
Yeah.
God.
yeah, I'm just screaming after you.
Oh, that'd be so
Oh my
good.
God.
and she's and she's going,
You're my dad.
yeah.
You're my dad, Brady.
There you go. Brady and I are your parents.
Your family.
And we are, weird.
Let's do it.
Anyway, so the idea is you can come along to Comic Con with us. You can see us at Comic Con. We'll wave at you and stuff. We'll take a photo. But then the idea is that that night, instead of getting the train straight home with all your toys that you've bought,
Yeah, I bought
Comic-Con,
nothing last time.
just go straight down to one of these places. We'll confirm where it'll be
Yeah.
and get your ticket in advance. Obviously,
He was famous there last time. We had Kevin Smith.
wasn't Mads Mikkelsen there as well? Hannibal.
Yeah, he was there.
Jerry
tried queuing
Bullock,
up for-
obviously, he's always there. Dave Prowse is always there.
Pamela Anderson was there.
Yeah. We
Load
didn't
of
see her, though.
wrestlers for some reason.
Benedict Cumberbatch was there.
Amazing.
He had
Oh yeah, of course,
crazy
Dr.
queue.
Benedict Cumberbatch walks into a bar.
Doctor Strange saw that.
The
I haven't seen it yet.
Benedict Cumberbatch walks into a bar. Barman says, "Why the long face?"
Unbelievable. I mean, is that even a joke?
Dude, they can't hear you, man. Come close to the
Does that
mic,
even
everyone.
count as a joke?
It's a joke. It's a joke.
It was rubbish.
Well, okay, how did Darth Vader know what Luke Skywalker was getting for Christmas?
Oh, this is even worse.
Felt his presence.
This is just
Oh
shit now.
wow.
We're getting to the point where we're telling cracker jokes on the show.
That's
Jokes.
true. That's true.
So anyway, the idea is keep the evening free of the Saturday of Comic Con because we are going to do our best to put on a show in London. So
What are we talking about?
Star Wars this week.
Not episode 9.
Oh
What's
my
your
God,
list? You got a
episode
list
9
there.
is
I've got a little note. I've got 2 other things on it.
Okay, so you went to Blade Runner.
Yeah.
How was
Secret
it?
Cinema. Fucking good.
Better than Star Wars?
No.
Okay.
No,
Let's
smaller
not
than
talk
Star
about
Wars.
it then.
Anybody who doesn't know what it is, Secret Cinema is a thing in London where this company put on this big night where you go along and you eventually watch a big movie. But before that, they've recreated the world that movie takes place in. They did one with Star Wars, and you turn up in costume and you interact with people, actors portraying Obi-Wan and Darth Vader and things like this.
It was
It was
amazing.
fucking amazing, wasn't it? I mean, they recreated
Oh, I missed
Tatooine.
that.
It was all
Oh,
indoors.
God.
They had the huts. You could go in like Owen and Beru's house. You could go in the Mos Eisley Cantina. There was people dressed like aliens. There
It
alien
was weird.
characters.
They were so in character. You go into the hut and it's
Yeah.
like Luke having dinner and having an argument,
With
drinking
his
blue
uncle
milk,
while you're sat there
and you're watching.
it.
You're going,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he's going. I'm fed up with this place, mate. And he's ad-libbing because he's forgot his
Yeah,
lines.
yeah.
And he's like spills his blue milk and storms off, and you're like, oh, that was
Weird.
awkward.
But you go to the cantina and it's like Chewie and Han
Han Solo.
having the whole meeting with Luke and Ben.
He
It's all
shoots Greedo.
Yeah, shoots Greedo. And then you see Stormtroopers come at you really aggressively. Anyway, so that thing was amazing. They did the same thing with Blade Runner and it's still on now. You can go and see it. So go to like 6cinema.com, it's on there. It's not cheap. It's like the minimum ticket is like 45 quid per person.
Yeah.
But they've recreated the city from Blade Runner, Los Angeles of the future, pretty well, I'd say, but much more smaller scale. But they've got rain indoors, so take a brolly, because you've got to have that. It's really good fun. I had a great time, and I can't really fault it. It was, apart from it being very expensive.
And not Star Wars.
And not
Yeah.
Star Wars. Yeah.
If anyone from America's ever come into London that listens to this show, and is kind of a fan,
come for Comic Con. See us.
Well, yeah, I reckon we should meet up for them.
Pass the wine, please.
Pass the wine, right?
Keep going.
I think we should just meet up with anyone in America. Yeah, I'd like that.
Okay, all right.
Because 50% of our audience is in America.
No, it's not. It's balanced out again.
Oh, is
so
it?
Now we're like
What's
43 is UK. Like about 38% is America, and the rest is all over the world.
Oh, nice.
That's not bad though.
Bloody hell.
A lot of Americans listen to the show. I'm sorry, you guys, but fly to London. It's not that expensive. It's only about $1,000.
It's a fun town.
You get to hang out with us.
If you're going to visit London, do it in July. Come to London Film and Comic Con. You can meet all wrestlers and people from what's that show about the biker gang that go around?
Who?
Oh, it's a show about a biker gang.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Something about
Anarchy. Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah.
Loads of people from Sons of Anarchy. Loads of Game of Thrones people are going to be there as well. It's not really very Star Warsy this year, but so far the guest list is always improving. It's worth going. Jude's got this look at his face. I don't want to go.
I'd at least have the guy from Casualty that did Grand Moff Tarkin.
I think he's going to be there this year.
Of course he is.
I don't
What is the
want
point of
to
him?
disappoint you, but I think he's going to be there.
But what is the point of that?
Guy something.
Is the guy that did the hands with the CGI in Rogue One?
Oh, do you know about the hands news this week?
Go on.
You know in The Last Jedi when Luke Skywalker takes a dice down?
Hands news,
Yeah.
is this a thing?
It's actually Ryan Johnson, the director's hands in the gloves.
Oh, okay.
Fact.
Fancy that.
Are we going to talk episode 9?
Yeah, let's talk
let's do it.
episode 9.
Bradie is
We
dying.
told you we're going to do it for a piss.
Hey.
I'm just joking. She's been on a tube. She's been stuck on a tube for an hour.
I'm fine, Jesus.
I asked if she wanted to go before
You
she said
nearly
no.
made me
I love that.
beer.
And now she's like doing this to sort of give me the signal.
I am
She's like,
not.
I know she's not. She's not.
Lies
I'm
and
just
subterfuge.
lies, deceptions. Okay, let's go for episode 9. You.
This is Car
Brady's
Crash
so
Radio.
embarrassed.
This is Car Crash Radio.
It's
Go
great.
on.
Car
Go on.
Crash FM, episode 9, speculation.
Yeah.
Okay, what's occurring? What we're going to say about this movie? How are we going to do this? We're going to just put
Right, let's go with.
about where it's going to go.
Let's structure it.
No, I disagree.
Jude, sit a little bit
Alright,
closer,
bloody
buddy. These people want to hear you.
Of course I disagree. What else am I going to do? So last time I mentioned a bunch of things which I think maybe need explaining.
Okay.
Because I'm gonna probably draw on a lot of those when we talk about theories.
Okay.
So there were 3 things I talked about. One was the hero's journey, one was the heroine's journey, and I dropped Death and the Maiden in there randomly at one point.
Yep.
So just to give people a bit of a heads up if they don't already know. So the hero's journey is there's a thing called the Monomyth. So back in the 1950s, a guy wrote a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces. The guy was called Joseph Campbell. And it was basically he's a comparative mythologist. So he basically looks at myths all around the world, and he did that, and he came to the conclusion that actually the way we tell myths and legends and the hero story is really similar across all different types of cultures.
Right.
So he wrote a book called The Hero with 1,000 Faces, and he basically boils the hero's myth down into one narrative. And normally we wouldn't really give a toss about this, but the young George Lucas loved this book, and it was a massive influence on him when he wrote Star Wars. It was like he actually refers to Joseph Campbell.
Educated John.
This is
Educated John.
This.
Wait,
Yeah.
it gets better. He
Yeah,
actually
yeah.
refers to Joseph Campbell as my Yoda. That's
Wow.
that's how big
What
an
an honour
impact
for
this
Joseph
book,
Campbell.
this book had on George
Meaning
Lucas.
he's a CGI man.
Can we put Can
yeah.
we put like some theme tune music over?
I will.
Like,
I will. Yeah.
I know,
Duel
like
of Fates going on now.
No, I'm talking like some like intellectual thing, like
All right.
No, I want
University
Star Wars
Challenge
music.
or something. It's
Okay,
so
well,
good.
Star Wars theme.
Keep
Anything
going.
you want. Leia's theme, I think.
Yeah, that'd be nice. So this had a huge, profound impact on George Lucas. Eventually, they actually ended up meeting each other.
Yeah.
When they met, Joseph Campbell hadn't watched any of the Star Wars movies. All
Disgrace.
3 had been made by this point. And George Lucas said to him, you were a really big influence on me. So basically, Joseph Campbell ended up visiting Skywalker Ranch, watching all 3 movies with George Lucas on Skywalker Ranch.
Wow.
And
back to back.
they watched all 3 of them.
What did he
And
think?
At the end of
Not
them, that's what
prequels,
George Lucas
Bradie.
asked him. He said, "What do you think?" He said he was silent for a moment.
Oh,
And then he turned
Be
around.
He
fine.
watched all three without saying anything in between. He didn't even go for a stop.
No,
for a
he
week.
He turned around and
Literally.
went, "What a waste of life."
Well, at the end of it, he turned around and he was silent for a moment, and then he said, I thought they'd stop. I thought something along the lines of, I thought they'd stop making masterpieces when like Picasso and stuff were around. So
Sounds
he
like a
actually
brown
started-
noser. What a flipping brown nose scum.
No, because George Lucas was his student. He went to Joseph Campbell's talk.
Did
That's
he?
how they met each other at like on some university campus, I
Right.
think, like, and they got introduced by someone else.
Amazing.
You have no idea about
He
Star
locked him
Wars.
in the room. Tell me it's good. I won't let you out. Wow, really? Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, okay, so the reason that the
You've
hero's
all
journey
done
was
that though. You've
so
all said like, you know, next morning, how was it? And you've gone like, yeah, it was great. No, carry on, sorry.
What? What was that? Go on, carry on.
So basically, so the hero's journey and the Hero with 1,000 Faces was a huge influence on George Lucas, and he basically used that as the blueprint for writing the Star Wars films.
Yeah.
The problem with the criticism that the Hero with 1,000 Faces gets is that it doesn't talk about the heroine's journey. Basically, women in the Hero with 1,000 Faces are very much they're not even a sidekick. They're just kind of an afterthought.
Right.
So it got a lot of criticism because of that. And then a woman called Valerie Frankel in around 2010, I think it was. She basically did the same thing that Campbell had done, but with the heroine's journey.
So how old was Campbell when he watched Star Wars?
I've got no idea. I have no idea. We'd have to
Did he
Google
come
it.
before 2010?
Oh yeah, he wrote his book Hero with 1,000 Faces back in 1959. So
Wow.
he had nothing. Star Wars came as a result.
Oh, sorry, I thought you said 1910. Sorry. I thought you said 1910. I was like, how old is this guy? No wonder he's saying yes. He's like, is that, are you breathing or is that a good film? I'm going to say yes.
Just blink once for yes and twice for no.
He's got dry eyes. He's got dry
But he
eyes.
said it was the best film I ever saw.
What was that thing you saw? The guy. No, that's enough. That's enough.
That's amazing.
Sorry,
We've got to talk
Bradie.
about that.
Sorry, Bradie.
We've got to talk about that.
Afterwards.
It's
after.
amazing. I'm going to write it down so we don't forget it. I'm just going to write it down.
No.
It's the most funniest thing in the world. Carry on, please. Please
Okay.
carry on.
Really, really quickly. So the heroine's journey is different to the hero's journey. But the reason it's important is because people like George Lucas and all those guys, they do actually read this stuff. And the heroine's journey kind of comes from the same place that the hero's journey does, in that most of early kind of religions and cultures and stuff worships a mother goddess. And actually a lot of the heroine narratives that we see in things like myths and fairy tales and stuff draw predominantly on this kind of this heroine's journey, which is what we're seeing now in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And
Full
I mean,
on.
people might say, okay, we don't have to give a toss about the heroine's journey or that book really, because we're still in Star Wars, George Lucas land, whatever. But J.J. Abrams, when he was talking about the first film, The Force Awakens, talked about the movie being like a fairy tale, and he was talking about fairy tale motifs, and he said, well, if this is a fairy tale, you're going to have a prince, a princess, and a castle.
Yeah.
So arguably, we've had a prince and a princess, we've yet to see a castle, but as we're moving into 9,
Hold
we
on.
might...
What about Death Star? Isn't that the castle though?
No.
Isn't the princess
It's
trapped
got
in
to
the
be.
castle?
No, it's got to be
No.
Vader's castle, man.
Exactly. So now we're moving into 9. So this is why the heroine's journey is so important, because a lot of those motifs can actually tell us what we might be seeing in 9.
So episode 9 begins with Ray looking in the paper and seeing flat available.
So if you
on Mustafar,
yeah.
and she heads down there. She's like, oh god, Darth Vader used to live here.
So I bet the rent is awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, but it's bloody
Kylo's
warm.
banging it out for 900 a month.
Saving a fortune on heating bills there.
So yeah, exactly.
Got that old geezer, my lord.
Is he's not arrived still.
Krennic is here to see you. Yeah.
Okay, so what we're saying is, so the story is a trilogy. So in the first one you get a prince, then Last Jedi's princess.
Yeah.
Well, see, this is
Third
when
one's
I dropped
castle.
in Death and the Maiden. So, okay, so you've got the heroine's journey, which is like the hero's journey and the heroine's journey are what called monomyths, and they're basically looking at all the myths and stories ever told throughout cultures and seeing a similarity in the way the stories are told.
Yeah.
So when it comes to the hero's journey, you've got a hero who's not kind of cool with his life, how things are. He gets a call to adventure, which he initially ignores. Then he actually goes along with it. Then he meets a mentor. He gets given a magical sword. He meets the Dark Lord, which is a double for the darkness within himself, but also a double for the father figure that he actually wants to usurp.
Yeah.
And then he learns the knowledge. He defeats the darkness. He returns to his tribe and he imparts his knowledge to his people. That's the hero's journey.
Yeah, this is all like mythology.
Exactly, but it's the same throughout all of them, and this is what George Lucas used
for the
to
prequels
build.
as well, though.
Yes.
Okay.
Well, yeah, but before that, see, this is where you're looking at things like. So before that, you have something called. Oh, this is when it gets a little bit complicated. Anyway, so we'll do the prequels in a minute, but
You're going to discount them?
No, we're going to talk about them because actually, a lot of people who are into literature and looking at tropes and reading film are actually saying that what we're going to see in. God, what are we on now?
What
we're going to see what we're seeing in 7, 8 and 9 is actually a reversal of what we saw in 1, 2 and 3. So in 1, 2 and 3, what you saw as a trope was what was called the usurper and the Holy Mother. The usurper is Anakin, which is like an outwardly masculine but inwardly kind of sensitive, kind of emotionally unbalanced unbalanced kid who's ripped away from the mother figure.
Yes, he is.
Who's like a holy mother. I mean, she has an immaculate conception. So he's ripped away from the Holy Mother, and it's his fear, his love of her, and his fear of losing her and desire to protect her, which drives him throughout the entire film. He then sees a replacement for her when he meets Padme. She is then his stand-in as the Holy Mother because outwardly she's very feminine, but she has inner strength.
Hang on,
So
this is all feeling a bit Freudian.
It is a bit.
Well, yeah,
but that's
but
a big old theme in Star Wars.
And George Lucas believed in that. There's an interview with him where he was saying, when he talks about...
George Lucas really wanted to kiss his sister.
I brought it back to incest, so we went for intellectual. I brought it tumbling back down to purile filth.
But George Lucas believed in the kind of like the psychology of stories, and there's actually an interview with him when he's talking about George Campbell in the book.
No, definitely that was the whole
and
father
he talks
thing.
about
young men want to kill their father type thing, or just to fuck their mum. That's what Freudian thinks about, isn't it?
Yeah, kinda. Yeah.
So that's the Han
I've read
Solo.
that before. No, I've read that somewhere.
Cut to Leia. Who the hell's Leia? Leia in Force Awakens, knowing. This is why Bradie's
I
on
thought
the
it was
show.
just all kind of like, I don't know where I read this, but it's something about like this Freudian thing about like all young men want to kill their father so they can have their mum for themselves.
Yeah, I mean,
Freud had Freudian was on his own planet, I'll be honest.
So have a shit
Freudian? Who's Freudian? Freudian. That's his name. Freudian. Right, sorry.
But basically what happens in 1, 2...
Jude's status as an intellectual is just dropped.
We should always...
Oh, mate, you've got any kind of
And what's your subject? Freudian. Imagine that.
Oh my god.
I'd pass every question. Go on. Sorry, Bradie. I feel rude. I'm just...
Sorry, we're interrupting you, Bradie.
Basically, what happens at the end of 1, 2 and 3 is what happens when the usurper doesn't kind of connect properly with the Holy Mother figure is that he basically becomes incredibly emotionally destabilized, and then he's turned into a dog of war by a kind of a male figure, because the thing with the usurper is that they also don't have a significant male figure in their life either. Anakin never had a dad.
Good point.
And his stand-in dad, which was what's his name? Qui-Gon?
Yeah, well, his mentor.
Yeah, he dies.
Yes.
And then he kind of, and so he doesn't really have that male kind of figure in his life. So basically, and so then he's turned into a dog of war. So when he loses,
that's a good shout, because all his trust was put in. So not only his trust was put in Qui-Gon, his mother's trust was put in Qui-Gon. And then he's gone.
He's a stand-in father figure, and then he dies.
And then he's just given to Obi-Wan, who didn't want him.
Yeah.
Obi-Wan didn't want him.
Yeah, said, I don't think this boy is... You're wasting our time here. Doesn't he say that?
Yeah.
Why do I think we've picked up another useless
like a
life
stray,
form?
basically.
Yeah. Something like that. Sorry, guys.
Interesting. This is why Bradie's on the show, because... Well, I
We have to
can't...
keep justifying why Bradie's on the show. She's on the show because she's fucking awesome.
Well, that's
She should
I'm
be on
trying
the
to
show.
explain the awesomeness
Okay.
because it's blindingly amazing,
It's
and there's
blindingly
no
obvious.
words that I can describe how good this insight is.
Oh, thanks. guys.
So
Next level insight. That's what we describe it.
the more next level insight she gives, the more pure I feel we give.
Yeah.
It's kind of I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
I like the balance, though. We're bringing balance
Balance
to the force,
High
guys.
five.
Oh, give it here as well.
Anyway.
Cool, you
Wow,
give a
we're
good
so
sound
cool.
effect on that high five.
I wasn't even. I had to fake that one this week. But it's
Yeah, we're in the
okay.
same room. We're in the same room
We should
this
do
week.
every show a little bit tipsy, I think.
I think we should. Yeah. Because we could do it with 3 mics. Unfortunately, I left the data card out of the Tascam this week, so not recording that. But yeah.
So basically, 1, 2, and 3 is basically it's a tragic romance as well. And in order to, if they're talking about bringing balance to the Force and all that jazz,
Yeah.
So apparently, the Star Wars movies are a saga about the Skywalker family. In order
They are.
to repair what happened in 1, 2, and 3.
So
what
they're saying
needs
that
to-
1, 2, and 3 were complete cack. And
just
need
because they're
to-
crap doesn't mean that the story isn't right. The narrative was correct. The way it manifested itself in terms of the 3 films, maybe not so much.
You mean in the
Binks
exit? Okay.
and a bunch of other things.
So how would you fix the prequels based on that?
Oh Lord, we have to sit down and breathe.
That's another
on
podcast,
that.
isn't it?
Yeah,
We're going to
That's
write
another
them.
podcast.
But Brady said, haven't you, Brady?
I did say this.
You know, everyone knows who listens to this show. We want to rewrite them. We want to do
And
our
we
own
will,
version.
and we are.
Do an audio thing. Brady's totally up for doing it with us.
Yeah.
And
Because
I
Brady's
think-
a writer.
Yeah, she is a full
proper
stop
writer.
I'm a fucking developer. You're a designer, and Brady's a writer. We're not
gonna do it-
qualified. You are qualified.
But I'll tell you what, we're going to rewrite the prequels and we are going to go full production on
What we
this.
should
I'm talking
do-
sound
what we
artist.
should do-
I've got a mate, Aaron Carter. You know you are listening to this.
What, the 90s pop star?
Not the 90s
Aaron
pop-
Carter?
not-
with the little
not-
with the curtains.
Not Nick Carter's
Oh,
brother,
mate.
no. Aaron Carter. He's an actor. He's been in various things
Okay,
of note.
putting it about.
Uh,
The in-betweeners.
very good at voices.
Yeah.
Brings a lot of passion. We're going to bring him involved. We've got a guy upstairs that can do. You can do a good Vader impression, but this guy can do an amazing Vader impression.
Right.
So we're going to put everything into this. We're going to put the production values skyrocket. We won't spend any money. We're just going to do it. We're all professionals.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's going to be amazing.
I think it will be. What do we expect from 9 though? I mean, how are we going to conclude it?
Well, as we were saying, if 1, 2, and 3 was about, and this is speculation, but it's pretty strong in terms of a narrative. If 1, 2, and 3 was about this tragic romance and about this usurper not being able to really kind of come good with his Holy Mother figure, then what we should see in 7, 8, and 9 is the repair of that. So I don't know. It depends really because
Does that make the original trilogy superfluous?
no,
Or abridged?
No, it ties it together in like a neat little circle with a
Okay,
bow
nice.
on top.
And JJ's gone ahead and said that.
He said the 9th film, his one, which he's
Yeah.
directing, will tie together all 3 trilogies.
And that's what the.
Do you think that's what he means, or does he
if you
mean
tie up-
literally we're going to be jumping back and forth, like we're going to put
If 1, 2,
like a battle droid in one thing and
if
a
you
gun
go
in
from the
another?
premise that 1, 2, and 3 was about,
You're thinking literal prop
Right.
as a nod back to the prequels.
I'm talking
Yeah,
narrative.
You're talking narrative.
Yeah.
So I'm saying
okay.
if 1, 2, and 3 was
I
about
hope it's the latter.
usurper not being able to, because they actually the whole usurper and the Holy Mother thing flows throughout 3, 4, and 4,
Yeah.
5, and 6 as
Yeah.
well. Because in 1, 2, and 3 you see him not being able to kind of repair that relationship with the Holy Mother, and then him being turned into a dog of war, and then in 4, 5, and 6, what you see is at the end he's a dog of war through like 1, 2, and most of 3. But in the end of 3, when he meets his son, who is basically the representation of the Holy Mother in terms of his child, that's the thing that turns him from being from the dark side back to the light. Because
So in
that's,
6.
that's his
So in
that's the
Return
repair
Jedi.
for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I don't know,
So he's gone now.
yeah, which is...
Does that mean that we'll see an Anakin ghost?
I don't
Well,
reckon.
this is
Vader ghost.
every single film that's come out. Not every single, but Force Awakens and The Last Jedi both recycled ideas that were rejected from the original Star Wars stories.
Mm-hmm.
The only one we haven't seen yet is the big finale where all the ghosts come back as physical beings and they have a massive fight.
It'll be so good.
Jude's literally jumping around the room.
Hang on a minute. If we're going to when the whole point is when you become a ghost, you're a Force ghost. You become the Force.
They're saying
they're not
they're in
gonna
transition between that
fight,
and the
are they?
Netherworld.
The idea of the original film was that there's a netherworld where you go after you've died, if you're one with the Force. And at the end of the Return of the Jedi script, which we've talked about on a previous show, go look up the one called Revenge of the Jedi, the script read-through or something. Yoda comes back in physical form, even though he died earlier in the film, and so does Obi-Wan, and the two of them have like a kind of battle of wills with the Emperor, who's trying to kill Luke Skywalker, and Vader. And then Vader and the Emperor have like a little tussle, don't they? Fall in lava and they both die.
Yeah.
But at the end of the movie, they all return apart from the Emperor. They all return in physical form as living people. Like his father and Obi-Wan and Yoda, they all come back.
So while that
So
would
when
be
we
great...
but when we were watching Return of the Jedi, The Last Jedi last week.
Yeah.
Too many laughs in those.
We noticed that Yoda was actually not transparent anymore. He's
Yoda's
physical.
getting more physical.
He's touched Luke with his stick, his ghost stick.
He's poking Luke.
So it's not his Yoda that died, but his stick died as well. He's got a little stick.
Yeah.
And he's dressed in gown.
Yeah.
And everything he's wearing.
I'd be more convincing if he was just naked going...
Yeah.
Alright? Master
I'm
Yoda.
Skywalker.
I'll just go naked. So.
Seen my knob, you have.
I need a magnifying glass.
Ashamed I am.
I wouldn't be, not with that.
Well, Yoda's knob.
It's massive. So
Do you reckon?
Probably.
Ooh.
she knows.
Brady
She
sounds
said it
like she's
first.
thought about it before.
We said it at the same time, reading
Ben
to that
Swallow. Back to Ben Swallow.
Ben Swallow. So listen, I think...
I don't reckon, only because... I mean, it would be great for Disney because they can sell like a ton more toys in the future, but it's
Yoda
going
is not.
to be different kinds of toys. Some for adults, some for
Yoda.
kids.
What kind of toys are you? And Thomas are doing a Star Wars collection, are they? It's just Yoda. I'll tell you what, I saw... No, I can't even say it on
Go on, can't say it.
on the Instagram.
Is it a dildo?
No, it wasn't. It was the reverse of that. And it was a green one, and someone had printed out a A4 picture of Yaddle,
Oh yeah.
the female version of Yoda, and popped it on the bed. And I
Right.
thought, what world are you living in?
So shall we go by character?
Yes, let's go
Okay.
on character.
What do you think is going to happen to Kylo? / Ben Solo.
He's going to finish the film.
How does it start?
Making love. Okay, it starts. I think this. Kylo
Time
Ren
jump.
is the supreme leader of the Empire, the Force First Order.
Yeah.
There is a cull, and young Hux is fucking furious. He's trying to overthrow him, and he frames Kylo Ren, humiliates him, and gets him kicked out of the First Order, like abandoned onto a planet, like Khan from Star Trek 2, the Wrath of Khan. Frey knows what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't.
I think give a shiny shite.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah.
That's your theories for Kylo. I reckon something similar. I think he's going to be leading the First Order.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's going to actually go quite hardcore, like he's going to try to eradicate all that stuff really quickly because he hates the past and he wants a new future and blah blah
Let
blah
the past
blah.
die.
I think while he's doing that, he's going to be desperately searching for Rey
Yeah.
because they had that bond, and I think,
Yeah.
and I also think,
He can
without,
still,
I think
he can
without
still reach
her,
out to her, the Force, right?
I reckon she'll have shot him off.
Okay.
I think she'll basically be giving she'll be ignoring his calls,
Blocking
basically.
the calls.
She'll be blocking
Yeah,
his calls.
blocking him on
Like,
Skype.
I do not want to
Yeah.
talk to you. I reckon that's what will be.
guys.
I reckon that's what will be happening. And I think that actually, without her presence and without her around, I think you'll be getting more and more emotionally unstable.
Okay.
And I think that's when the tension between him and Hux will really be getting worse and worse, because Hux not only hates him because he's his superior technically,
And his long hair.
he also doesn't like him because he's not like Snoke. He's not basically level-headed and cool
Wise
and calm
leader.
and cold. He's an emotional...
wreck.
Yeah, basically dynamite. So
As you see in the last scenes of The Last Jedi.
yeah.
You can totally pick up on that Hux envy or disdain
for sure. He hates him.
for him. Yeah.
Absolutely hates him. But we know something that's going to happen in 9 because we saw it happen in The Force Awakens. So
Do
when
we?
we do. So when Rey was downstairs in Maz Kanata's basement and she had her vision,
Yeah.
we see Kylo shove his saber through someone who is trying to kill Rey. And when you first see it, you
with the
think,
mask on.
Yes, when you first see it, you think that what he's doing is
I
killing.
thought that was just a random Jedi.
I thought it was a flashback.
No.
You think it's a future projection?
I think it's a future projection, yeah, because we've seen.
So you think we'd get to see the Knights of Ren?
Oh my
Oh, for
God.
sure, we're definitely seeing the
You
Knights
have
of
to
Ren.
see the Knights
Yeah,
of
we
Ren.
have to
We're
see
definitely
Knights of
seeing
Ren.
them because they've now appeared on the site as well. But he's definitely going to
They've
save her
what?
life.
What?
We know they're on the, if you look at StarWars.com or whatever it is,
Right.
like there's a bit about them. They don't generally tend
So
to
they're-
talk
so they're
about stuff.
official-
I thought they were all gone. I mean, I've got no support for that. I just
Yeah,
imagine.
but even in 7, even you,
Master
of the Knights of Ren.
Exactly.
It's a,
So where
that's
are the
a-
Knights of Ren? He's kicking around the social
they've got to
club.
be. They've got to be
Fucking
a big
snooker.
thing, mate.
And before
Right.
anybody turns around and says, "Oh no, he was killing a rebel," blah blah blah. This is why things like GIFs are so great, because I've seen a GIF of
Star Wars
it,
Episode
and what
9,
you
The
actually
Knights of
see is you see a guy lift his arm to strike her when she's down, and then a saber goes through him. You don't see he's literally going from like weapon by his side to weapon up above his head, and
Right.
then the saber goes through him, and it's Rey.
Is it definitely Rey?
Rey's
'cause
on
Rey's-
the floor.
Yeah,
She's
you're right.
seeing it.
So you're saying
Rey's
Kylo Ren
on the
attacks
floor.
her attacker?
Yeah,
Can I
Kylo
just
Ren
pull that
shoves the
up?
saber
Let me
through
pull
her
that up
attacker.
because we need to. I need to.
Mate, put it away. God, get it, Brian. What are you doing? You're getting the clip up?
I'm just going to get the Knights of Ren clip up because.
Okay, Knights of Ren flashback.
What you need to do is get the Rey.
Right, so we brought the clip up, what Bradie
Yeah.
just said. It's incredible. So I'll explain it and then I'll show you guys and see what you think. So, Rey's on the floor.
In
A Knight of Ren.
Castle. Right,
A
yeah.
Knight of Ren goes to hit Rey with some club,
Right.
and then you hear this faint no, and then a red lightsaber goes through the guy
Who's about to hit the
who's about to hit Rey,
Yeah.
and that's Kylo Ren.
Yeah, thank
So
you.
he's killing his. I didn't ever watch it like that, but it's incredible. Let me play it to you. This bit. That bit.
Steps forward. He's still got the mask on though.
Did you not get it? Did you not get that bit?
I did, well, but I've never said. I just imagined that was somebody who was trying to. It was a good person.
That's
being
what we
killed.
all thought in The
Yeah.
Force Awakens.
But it's
by
clearly
the time
not.
You've seen,
Clearly a
by the time
baddie.
you've seen The Last Jedi, and then I saw that as a gif, I was like, oh crap, that's not what's happening, because it's the way, because he raises his hand before he puts a thing through his chest, so he's clearly going for her.
Yeah.
And he shoves his
So that is
lightsaber through her chest.
a Knight of Ren going for Rey, and Kylo kills one of his own Knights of Ren to
We're
stop.
assuming it's Night Friend. We don't know who it is. We don't know who they're fighting.
Wow,
To
that's
stop-
special. That's special because JJ can come back and conclude.
Yeah.
that.
Exactly. I mean,
If
he
he
laid the
misses this,
foundations.
he's a fucking idiot.
But he laid the foundations for that in The Force
Yeah.
Awakens, so he already has an idea
Yeah,
of how
exactly.
he
He
thinks
must
3's
have.
gonna pan out.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Wow,
though, isn't it?
that's really cool. That is really cool.
So, in conclusion, I reckon one of two things are going to happen. Either JJ's going to bottle it, and Kylo's going to go so far into the dark side that he's going to become the new big baddie, and Ren and Poe and Finn and all those guys are going to have to take
Rey.
him down. Rey. And they're going to have to take him down. Or he's going to get his redemption arc, and somewhere along the line.
How long does a redemption arc take?
Well, I mean, like
It's been
with Vader,
getting there,
it
he's
took
been
one
touching
episode.
it
It
in,
can
like-
happen in one episode, but it's been starting for him, I think, since the.
It actually starts in The Force Awakens because he says, "I feel the pull to the light."
Yeah,
so it
it's
started
true.
already.
Although he killed Han, which obviously none
I
of
know,
us
but
like.
it's
Locked up for
something
life.
is there.
So it just ends the film him in
Great
prison
if
going,
Rey,
real
something happens
life,
to
bruv.
Rey and her saviour is Kylo Ren.
But weirdly enough, though, because I mean, he killed Han in that episode, but then in the Last Jedi, he kills Snoke. So it's I don't know,
Where do you
it's
think
difficult.
we're going to go with Finn and Rose in Episode 9?
I think Finn's a really interesting character, and I think the introduction of DJ in The Force, The Last Jedi, what he says about good guys, bad guys, they're effectively the same, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that might deep
There might be
down, I
more
think that
to
might
that.
have had a profound impact on Finn, and I
Yeah.
think that if in 9 we see Rey and Ben have some kind of reconciliation in some form, I think the knowledge of that or seeing that is going to have a massive impact on
Yeah.
Finn. And I think it could turn him to kind of say like you know, screw this, screw
Yeah.
you guys. Particularly if underneath maybe he does have more than friendly feelings for Rey. The knowledge that, you know, she's got some kind of weird bond with the bad guy is going to make him turn around and go, you know what, screw you guys, I'm out of here. I'm all for myself.
Big time. That's amazing insight.
Massive theories from Bradie on that. That's awesome. I mean, you were mentioning something about, we were talking about the ghost at the end of the film.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a big ending like that. But do you really think we get that? Or I just think it's sci-fi. I mean, I just think it's fantasy.
I mean, would that push Star Wars into a place they don't want to go?
Like a
if they
supernatural
start,
thing.
Yeah, I mean, if they start taking characters that are dead, that've been dead for like
Ghost of Darth Vader comes back and fights
and
the
bringing them back
Resistance
in,
side.
that's going to take Star Wars in a place I don't think they really want
I think
to
they're
go.
going to start the film with the Resistance having regained its numbers. We're talking years later, right?
So what are we talking here? 5 years?
3.
Yeah, I reckon it'd be between 2 and 3.
3 years later, the
And
Resistance
what's the
has
progression?
built up
What's the-
again because of the messages sent. And the legend of Luke Skywalker has spread across the galaxy. And now Leia is long dead. Or she's dead. Because they're going to have to kill her off, right?
That's what sucks, really, because
That
I mean,
does suck, 'cause it's
I
off
mean,
screen.
Oh, yeah,
That's the
I'd
thing.
hate
They
that.
had the opportunity to kill her in The Force Awakens, in Last Jedi.
But it was her last
But it
screen
didn't-
performance. I mean, how
I
could you
know.
do that? You have all that footage of
What you
Carrie
do is
Fisher,
you-
like,
At the
how
end,
could you?
when she goes, "What are you going to do now?" And she goes, "We have everything we need right here." And the next thing is her being shoved out the door and into space. And they fly off. That's how you end it. That's how you end it. But obviously, who did it? Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. I mean, the thing with it, because we were talking about the usurper and the Holy Mother thing.
Yeah.
The thing with the Holy Mother is, at some point, there are children. That goes with the trope.
Yeah.
But they're not necessarily children in the sense of her own children, or they could be like because the Last Jedi ended with kids, which really ties into the whole usurper and the Holy Mother trope.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're gonna see her being a Jedi Master and like training kids and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, you think so?
I reckon, yeah. But also that's kind of the part of her journey as well. The heroine's journey is about becoming this archetypal kind of mother goddess figure, but part of that is repairing the shattered family. That's her driving force. The same way that for the hero, his driving force is kind of autonomy, and they both have their own shadow halves that they have to overcome. But they have to. But for her, it's repairing the shattered family.
And for Kylo Ren, it's getting back to the light.
Yeah, in this instance, it'll be the fact that, you know, his Holy Mother figure wasn't around. He didn't really have a father figure. He then latches on to Rey because she is, in a sense, a Holy Mother figure. She's kind of outwardly feminine but inwardly strong, and she has her master is like the Force. She has like someone who's kind of ranks higher than him, so it kind of makes her kind of like a queenly sort of figure.
Right.
So she's got that driving her. So he has to kind of, if we're going to see a repairing of the Anakin and Padme thing, then there needs to be some kind of reconciliation for Kylo with regards to.
Is Chewie going to die?
I don't think they will. No, I don't think they will.
Stu thinks they're going to take out the Falcon and they're going to take out Chewie as well.
Because it's like...
Because if Chewie dies, it's the most traumatic thing for a Star Wars fan to take on.
I think Chewie will die in the Falcon.
He's like the dog. He's like the family dog.
But they don't kill dogs in movies anymore.
So.
Yes, they do.
No, they don't. They don't do it anymore.
Have you seen Marley and
apart
Me?
from Legend. I Am Legend.
I Am Legend. Oh, that's fucking awful. Have you seen Marley and Me? Have you seen A Dog's Tale or Dog's Life?
No, because the dog dies. Nobody wants to see a film where the dog dies. It's true.
They do. Yes, they do.
They used to kill
don't.
dogs all the time in the
I
80s.
don't.
They haven't done it for a really long time. I mean, apart from a couple of movies, but still.
I'll be honest.
Or Dogs Go to Heaven.
This is what's going to happen. I think Chewie and Kylo have got some history.
Yeah.
When Kylo was growing up,
Gave him a
Chewie...
wank.
Probably,
okay.
God.
probably not.
Gave him a little, covered his balls in Nutella. Got Chewie to lick it all up.
Sorry! This is where it goes.
Peanut
Goes off on a
butter.
tangent.
That's where they realised that Kylo was evil.
I
No,
was
I'm
going
kidding,
for some
sorry.
serious stuff here.
Okay, I'm so sorry.
So I think Kylo and Chewie have got some, like, deep down they love each other. I
He
reckon
did try to kill
Kylo...
him. I mean, that was fair.
Okay.
I think he shot him in the side because he knew that this kid's good.
I think the thing is, no, Chewie and
good
Kylo
shot.
probably spent 10, 12, 15 years together
Yeah.
before Kylo went off, right?
Yeah.
So there's a bond there, and I think Kylo...
Chewie's not Stewie. He's not actually like a dog. He's actually very intelligent. He's technical. He can repair a spaceship.
Yeah.
Of course,
I mean,
I think
he just can't talk words properly.
What
That's
is
all.
it's just his species, right?
Yeah.
So he's... I reckon Kylo's in trouble, and I reckon Chewie will sacrifice himself to save Kylo,
Oh, what an ending!
and then Kylo flies out on the
man.
Falcon.
No way.
I reckon that is what is going to happen. You'd love that.
I would fucking cry. I would
Chewie
fucking
comes
stand
in,
up, Lord.
hero.
Kylo hero.
Kylo manages to escape on the Falcon. Echoes of his dad and his mum,
Oh,
and all of the
Hang on a
enemy.
minute.
What?
Hang on a minute.
I'm not happy with
Isn't that too far in one film? Like, are we going to get 10, 11, 12 in the same trilogy? Are we
it
going to
would
get
not
that?
surprise
well, it's a
me.
trilogy, is it? That'd be it.
It would not surprise me if all these actors had already signed up.
What's the sixth called?
They're probably signed up.
Hex.
Do you know what the thing is though? The thing is though,
Trilogy.
Daisy Ridley worries me because I've
Why?
seen her a few interviews and she's already bored of it. I think she's bored of Star Wars.
She's fucking sick of the sexism she has to fucking deal with, the Mary
Right.
Sue shit.
So she's
what
like,
she's sick of.
yeah, but she doesn't understand the
She's
Mary
a
Sue
young,
shit.
inexperienced
Well, Mary Stu's the
actor.
bullshit.
Sorry, I'm not going to say actress because it's just there's no difference. She's a young, inexperienced actor. She's fucking sick of people judging her because she's a fucking woman. That's all. She is the Luke Skywalker
She's a good
now.
actress. She's a good actor. She needs to stop
I like her. a
worrying.
lot. I did slag her off in The Force Awakens. I said, oh, she's all just like eyes and teeth. But in the The Last Jedi, she proved me wrong.
Right.
Proved me wrong.
So
Totally
look,
proved me wrong.
the thing is, mate, they've got a dilemma because I don't think she'd sign up for another trilogy. She wants to get this thing out of the way and get on with her career.
Oh, she won't be typecast, no.
So
You think she's
I
going to kill
don't
herself
think
off?
they're going to have to.
I mean, I don't
It
know.
better not be another flipping Julianne Moore replacing what's her face as Clarice.
Jodie
I thought
Foster.
she did a really good job in Hannibal.
I know,
Did you?
but I
I
did.
love Silence of the Lambs.
But I can't get over.
Oh,
I
really?
can't
Let's
watch.
go and have dinner
I
afterwards.
can't watch Baltimore Prison. And I'll be
I love
visiting
them
both of you.
I love
Both of
Hannibal.
you.
I did Best Mason Virgin. Come on, like, you're a time. So,
Don't do that.
is it scary? you,
Don't
sir?
do that in the restaurant later on. Weird. So listen, I think that's just awful.
Cardell! Cardell! You know what I'm talking about?
That's a really
Yeah.
good. That's
Yes,
really
I know.
good.
He's seen
That's
it,
really
yeah.
impression. It's terrifying.
Cardell!
Oh, God, make it stop.
I
Make
bark
it stop.
my
Both of you
breast.
stop.
Catch a little anything for
Wow,
Cardell.
I put my
Dinner's
breast
off.
come hither
Dinner's off.
outfit on.
What were you saying?
Oh, nice.
Would you like some poppers? And I said, would I?
What?
Oh God.
Anyway, so what was I saying?
Sorry, guys, we've just done like a little Mason Verger tribute there.
What was I saying?
You were talking about Daisy Ridley getting sick of
So I'm
playing
just
Ray.
saying, I don't think they can afford to do another trilogy with her signed up because she will
This
just.
is not like 9 theories or kind of like future theories. This is actor stuff we can't control.
Okay, that's what they said
Okay.
week's episode is called.
So
Actor
9.
stuff we can't control.
So 9, I think it's going to end like this.
Yeah.
Let's
Okay.
do endings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? I think Kylo's redemption arc's going to start pretty quick soon in the film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the downfall of Kylo's going to happen
Has
quick.
to be by Hux.
Hux is going to
Hux, yeah.
execute. He's going to drop the hammer.
Yeah.
He's going to drop the axe, and then suddenly Kylo finds himself extradited.
Mm-hmm.
He's in between the rebels and the First Order. I think he goes.
Wait, come here, I'm on this planet all by myself.
I think
you need
he-
to rescue me.
Yeah. So then Chewie flies down in the Falcon
Yeah.
to.
Pick him up.
No, not even that. To
With
just
him?
have a one-to-one with him.
1-to-1 with him.
And then
Carry on.
I think
don't
Chewie.
kill
I think
Chewie.
Chewie goes to kill him, and I think Kylo kills Chewie,
No!
steals the Falcon, and flies the Falcon off to Rey, and says he didn't make it. All right, so he's still a bad guy at
That's
this
not
point.
That's not a
Fucking
redemption
horrible
arc.
way to start a
If
film.
that happened, if they did that cinematically, if they
Everybody
did
would
that in
hate
terms of a narrative, they would
Kylo
then have
Ren.
to kill that character.
Yeah. Kylo's
That's
a
not a
bastard
redemption
then.
arc. They would have to kill that
Okay,
character.
okay. So
I
he
know
doesn't
Kylo's
kill.
father, but you can't kill
He doesn't kill
Chewie.
Chewie. Chewie comes in to rescue him then,
Yeah.
and then Kylo Ren's on this planet, and Chewie's there ready to just take him in and say all is forgiven, and then Hux comes in and takes Chewie out. And
he's fighting for the
Kylo
murder.
thinks back at all the times that him and Chewie played football as a kid, and he screams. It goes all quiet, and he goes, "No!" And then he whips his lightsaber out, and he starts taking down First Order troopers and
He's
stuff.
all in bits
And he's just
everywhere.
going nuts,
Yeah,
and the
yeah.
full force is with Kylo.
Mate, I'm
problem
fucking
is,
blows
though-
up,
Semi-over here.
sight
Oh,
flies out.
shucks.
The problem is though, 9 needs a big baddie.
Hux isn't big
9
enough.
needs a big baddie,
Right.
and it's either going to be
The Knights of Ren, like you thought.
Kylo that kind of, and it kind of
yeah.
switches, and then because basically Kylo and Rey need to group together to see off the big baddie. So although I hate it, maybe there's a possibility that Snoke might come back. I would hate it,
No, it's not going to happen.
but there could be
100%
that.
not going to happen.
But that's the thing. It's like then they need to make Kylo a big enough baddie for the rebellion to get behind and to
Right.
want to see him off. So I don't know.
I think he's going to
Is there
join them. I think he's going to join them, and I think it's going to be an overthrow thing.
Or is there a bigger baddie? If they're potentially going to Vader's
Rey
castle,
and
where did Snoke come from?
That is what
Does Snoke-
I've been saying
does Snoke
for
have a
every single
boss?
part. He doesn't give a shit about Snoke.
What I'm saying is that if Snoke, the big baddie's dead, right? The big bad wolf is dead, and now
He's
you've
not
got
a big baddie,
Kylo.
He's just a superior character.
But that's the thing. But now you've got Kylo, who really isn't a big enough baddie. What we've got effectively now is almost like a civil war. You've got two people who are evenly matched, who are seeing off against each other. That's not a hero's tale. The
Darth Vader's
hero,
burnt corpse.
the
being
hero
kept
goes up
alive.
against a monster.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like, okay, if Snoke's dead,
Yeah.
maybe we're going to see Snoke's boss in Episode 9, which will be a big enough baddie for Kylo and
Snoke's
Rey
boss, but
Yeah.
he's a
to put their
supreme
differences
leader. Okay.
aside to get together.
Bradie, I think your imagination is incredibly active. I
Oh, we haven't
genuinely.
heard your theory yet. Give us your theory.
That's an amazing theory.
I think Kylo Ren very early on is going to turn to rebellion because he has to, because he's been kicked out of the First Order, and he decides very quickly that his place in the universe is with Chewbacca and Rey and his mother's memory. The death of his mother might twist it as well. I think he's been betrayed in the film, and he's going to realise who his real friends are and everything like that, and he has to turn back. And then I think you're going to see an enormous Rey and Kylo Ren back-to-back type thing, taking on the whole First Order.
Do you think the First Order will crumble?
Yes, mate.
The whole of it?
It's got to. It's got to.
How do you make
I
that
really
much of a
wouldn't be
cataclysmic?
surprised if at the end of 9 what we see is like the
The
first
ghost
order's,
of
the first
Leia
order's in
turns up.
retreat and the rebellion's getting stronger and stronger. Kylo's redeemed himself a little bit, and him and Rey are kind of on sort of equal footing, but then they separate again, and Kylo goes off to do his
If he does
go
that whole
fix
kind of
some
got really close and
something
got
to fix
evil again, I
something.
don't think I can cope with that.
I don't think he's gonna go. I don't think he's gonna
he
go.
got
evil
so
again.
close to the light, and he just came away from
That's
it.
why I think he's not a big
He's
enough
like, kill
baddie.
her, and I'll kill you, and I'll kill the Last Jedi. It's like that
He's
wasn't
not
the
a big
guy
enough
that
baddie.
we met.
Either
yeah.
Hux is going. Either
I
Hux or
love him.
someone related
I love him so
to
much,
that
but I
is
just don't
gonna-
know where I want him.
He's
'Cause
going to be somewhere in the
I
middle.
really love
I
Adam
honestly think he's
Driver.
going to be somewhere in the middle. I think at the end, I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of 9, Rey and Kylo have kind of, they fought together and they kind of have this sort of weird understanding, but he hasn't redeemed himself enough yet for them to be.
Wow, beatboxing skills by Jude.
No,
over
hang
here
on,
are
that was my.
fucking amazing.
I can't do
He's
it.
always trying to do Hey Bulldog, but that's great. That's
I
great.
think if they separate at the end of 9 again, so he can
Mm-hmm.
go off and do his thing and she can go off and continue her thing, then at least it sets it up for like
Yeah.
another 3 films where potentially they could reunite. Who knows?
Okay. Can I ask a few more
Go
questions?
on.
Yeah.
What planets do you want to see in this film?
Ooh.
Tatooine, please.
I want to see some original
I'd like to see
trilogy.
Tatooine.
I want to see some prequel trilogy planets.
No, you don't.
I
Not
do.
Naboo.
Do you know what? We probably will.
I
you
want
reckon
to see.
we
I
probably
want
will.
to see a Naboo, man.
We're not. I
And
don't
gotta
think
take it
we're
back
You
gonna
to
want to
see
the
see
motherland.
a Naboo man, do you?
I want to see Jar Jar Binks as an old
What other,
man.
what other
You.
prequel planets have we got?
We got
Stick my
Naboo,
fat cock
Mustafa.
down your throat.
Mustafa, I think, is a given.
It
We're
wouldn't
gonna
even
see
touch
that.
the sides, to be honest.
Oh. Yeah, carry on.
Brady looked at me and winked.
He's shoot me down.
So, I think we're going to see Mustafa.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That's the prequel planet.
All right, yeah, I think so.
Naboo.
Let's write it down. Let's write it down.
I
as
don't think we're going to
evidence.
see Naboo.
Oh man, I'd like to though. I really want to see Tatooine. I want
Yeah, I do too.
I think I'd love to go back to Ben's hut. That's been untouched.
What about Sky?
Bespin.
Sky.
Bespin,
Cloud
yeah,
City.
Cloud City.
possibly
I reckon
more.
we're going to see Cloud City.
What and Lando?
Lando. No, he left.
Oh,
he
that
left.
would
He
be
left.
so
He left. He
good.
left. He got taken over by the Empire. He abandoned it.
Lobot sitting
He
there.
runs. He ran away from it because like the Empire took it over.
He must know that
He
he's at the back of his
escaped it.
hands,
Yeah, of course he
though.
does.
If they want to break into there to get anything,
Do you think we're
then
going
he'll
to see
let
Lando
them.
Calrissian in the third
Oh, I'd
film?
love to.
Come
I
on.
think this is the
He
only
was
thing.
supposed to be. He was supposed to be the DJ character. Did you know that?
Oh my god!
They wrote it for Lando, and he
I'm glad they
for,
didn't
for
do
some
that.
reason they didn't do it. It could be
Glad they
because
didn't.
B.G. Williams said he wanted to, or the director felt it was too bad.
That'd be a terrible thing for that
would have just. I
character.
think it would just been a fanboy play up.
Exactly. Would have
Look,
made sense.
The thing that's missing for me in this new trilogy that the prequels had is location.
Loads of CGI effects.
No
What's wrong with
location. When I went to see episode 1, I loved it because of Tatooine.
We got Jakku.
Tatooine
we
was
got the
amazing.
snow
I know,
planet.
but they're all new, man.
And what about but they were new in the original and Crate. What is missing for you from locations?
that nostalgia, like you can get. I'll be honest. I didn't get the nostalgia from Han Solo. Didn't get it from any of the characters.
mate? Right.
The only nostalgia bit I got was when Yoda popped up.
By the way, we're all going to go and see Indiana Jones 5 together.
When's that coming out?
Oh my god, that'd be great.
2019, yeah?
That's a 90.
I gen
So that's a
He's
long.
thinking
Put that in the
very
diary.
like next year's diary, kids. But really,
it even
it'd be
printed yet?
amazing. Wouldn't it be amazing? It's produced by Captain Kennedy, directed by Spielberg, produced by obviously made by Lucasfilm, and distributed by Disney.
Yeah, we should do that.
It's going to be all prosthetics and real.
So
No aliens in
any
this one.
fucking aliens, God.
Yeah, the UFOs.
No.
To finish, then, I want to tell you that Jude's going to be away next week, but Brady and I are going to step up, aren't we?
Yeah, we are.
We're going to do the Brady Spesh. So if you want to find out
Apparently.
about Brady,
Oh God.
tune in next week. We're going to do
Be a
Brady
short show,
Spesh.
guys. A
It's gonna
really
be
short
good.
show.
So only 3 hours.
Only 3 hours. Thanks for listening to the show this week. I've been John Gansini.
I've been Brady Tippett.
And I've been Jude Gay.
May the force be with you. It's Easter weekend. Yeah.